These are your Integrated Math 2, Module 4, Topic 1, Lesson 3 notes. This is video 1 of 2 for this lesson. So our learning targets for this video is I can approximate square roots and I can simplify square roots. So before we start, you should write down in your notes the standard perfect square squares that we use to simplify to a whole number. So we know our perfect squares are square root of 1, that's 1. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 25 is 5. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 64 is 8. Square root of 81 is 9. Square root of 100 is 10. Square root of 121 is 11. Square root of 144 is 12. Okay, those typically get the job done for you. Sometimes you need a little bit larger perfect squares. And if it's a test where you can use a calculator, you can always figure it out. Take your calculator and go, what's 17 times 17? What's 18 times 18? To find other perfect squares. All right, so approximate. So let's say I give you the square root of 39. Square root of 39. What's that approximately? Well, square root of 39, it's between what two perfect squares? Square root of 36 and the square root of 49. Okay? Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 49 is 7. So square root of 39, is it in the middle? Or is it closer to one or the other? Well, 39 is only 3 away from 36. 39 is 10 away from 49. So you're looking at a spread of 13 and only 3/13 away. So if I was to estimate that, probably say about 6.2. We know it's closer to 6 than it is 7, so maybe 6.2 would be a good estimate. Okay? And I'm not going to lose sleep if you say 6.3 or 6.1. I just want you in the right ballpark. Okay? Let's say I give you the square root of 80. All right? What two perfect squares is that between? That's right, it's between square root of 81, which we know is 9, and square root of 64, which is 8. Well, square root of 80 is really close to square root of 81, right? So it's going to be very close to 9, and it's pretty far away from 64. So you may guess the mate here probably close to 9, maybe 8.9. It's probably even closer than that. Okay, that'd be your estimate. So that's how you estimate. Most of you are pretty good at that. The next part is simplifying the square roots is where we struggle. So let's take a look at that. Simplify. Let's use that square root of 80 again. Square root of 80. All right, this is where I want you to factor it, and the first factor has to be a perfect square. So what perfect square goes into 80? Square root of 16. All right, so square root of 16 times the square root of 5. Always do your perfect square first. Okay, why do we simplify using this? Because this becomes a whole number. Square root of 16 is 4. So it's 4 square roots of 5. And we're done. That's simplified. Now, sometimes there's more than one perfect square that goes into 80. So sometimes students think, well, square root of 80 is the same as the square root of 4 times the square root of 20. And that's reasonable. So square root of 4 becomes 2. 2 square roots of 20. So then the student says, well, wait here. I don't get the same answer. You're right, but this one's not fully simplified. Since we didn't pull out the greatest perfect square that goes into 80, we have to refactor the 20. Right? Is the perfect square that goes into 20? That's right. Square root of 4 times the square root of 5. Don't forget the 2 here. 2 times that. So this becomes 2 times the square root of 5. So we're back to 4 square roots of 5. We get the same answer. Okay? How about that previous estimate we did with square root of 39? Can we simplify that? Let's see. Square root of 4? No. By the way, that reminds me. You cannot use the square root of 1. Square root of 1 is not going to help you simplify it when you factor. So you cannot use square root of 1. You have to use square root of 4 or larger. Square root of 9? Doesn't go into that. Square root of 16? No. Square root of 25? No. Square root of 36? No. So in this case, the square root of 39 is already simplified. You cannot simplify it any further. There's no perfect squares that factor into 39. Okay? Let's do another example. How about the square root of, let's see, how about 45? All right? What perfect square factor goes into 45? Well, how about 4? No, 4 doesn't work. 5 is not a perfect square. How about 9? Square root of 9 times square root of 5. That's where I was going with the 5. Square root of 9 times the square root of 5, right? You agree that 9 times 5 is 45? So square root of 9 times square root of 5 is square root of 45. So now square root of 9 becomes 3. It's 3 square roots of 5. All right, let's do a real hard one. How about the square root of 300? Oh, my. Well, wait a minute. Isn't square root of 100 a perfect square? That's not hard math. Square root of 100 multiplied by the square root of 3. Okay, and then square root of 100 becomes 10, so it's 10 square roots of 3. All right, so the key to success here is you really need to know your perfect squares that you're going to factor with. Okay, so you need to use one of these when you do the factoring in order to simplify it. If you cannot factor with one of these outside of the one doesn't count. All right, if you can't use it, then you can't simplify it any further. Okay, and that's it for video 1. Stay tuned for video 2 for this topic.